Hi guys, today I want to talk about the fourth stimulus check. I'm Stock Treasure. Whatever I say is not meant for legal, tax or investing advice. This video is for entertainment purpose only. If you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notification by clicking the bell icon. When you subscribe to my channel, you're going to get the latest information on stock and the stock market related news. Soon you are going to learn about some of my investments and will get an opportunity to see how they perform. Every day I'll try to upload a video for you. If not, then at least the next day. Okay, let's get started. Let's have a look at how the benchmarks performed today. The Dow Jones was down 0.06%, the S&P 500 was down 0.36%, Nasdaq was down 1.03%, and the Russell 2000 was down 0.81%. The VIX is up 3.20%. The IRS has issued about 167 million payments in the third round of direct stimulus aid, with another 1.8 million people last week receiving the $1,400 checks. But some lawmakers are pushing for a fourth round of stimulus aid that would effectively send recurring payments until the pandemic ends. So far, the federal response to the economic crisis caused by the coronavirus pandemic has delivered $3,200 to each eligible adult, $1,200 via the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act in March 2020, $600 in a December relief measure, and $1,400 under the American Rescue Plan signed in March by President Joe Biden. Despite that financial assistance, millions of Americans remain in financial distress, with about 4 in 10 people saying their income remains below its pre-pandemic levels, according to a survey from financial services firm TransUnion. Nationwide, nearly 16 million people are receiving some form of jobless assistance. The unemployment rate stands at 6.1%, far higher than its pre-pandemic level of 3.5%. And jobless rates remain especially elevated in low-wage industries such as food services and hospitality. 1 in 4 Americans struggle to pay their household expenses in the previous week, according to a Center on Budget and Policy Priorities analysis of census survey data from early May. Many people, in short, the latest round of $1,400 checks may not last long, an issue that is on the minds of many Americans who continue to struggle with joblessness and a weak labor market. Indeed, more than 2.3 million people have signed a Change.org petition started last year that calls on lawmakers to pass legislation for recurring $2,000 monthly payments. For many people, in short, the latest round of $1,400 checks may not last long, an issue that is on the minds of many Americans who continue to struggle with joblessness and a weak labor market. Indeed, more than 2.3 million people have signed a Change.org petition started last year that calls on lawmakers to pass legislation for recurring $2,000 monthly payments. Some lawmakers have picked up the idea. 21 senators, all Democrats, signed a March 30th letter to Mr. Biden in support of recurring stimulus payments, pointing out that the $1,400 payment being distributed by the IRS won't tide people up for long. Almost 6 in 10 people say that $1,400 payments set to be included in the rescue package will last them less than 3 months, the senators wrote in the letter. Meanwhile, millions of California residents may be in line to get a fourth check via a new effort from Governor Gavin Newsom. His plan would send $600 stimulus checks to state residents under a multi-billion-dollar spending plan he introduced in May, with about 2/3 of Californians possibly receiving a stimulus payment under his proposal. The letter from the US senators doesn't specify how large are the payments they are seeking, but a separate effort from Democratic lawmakers in January pushed for 2,000 monthly checks until the pandemic ends. Instead, the American Rescue Plan authorized $1,400 for each eligible adult and dependent. So far, people who have received the 3 rounds of stimulus payments said they are using most of the funds to pay down debt or sock away the money in savings, according to a recent analysis from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. That could indicate that the people are using the money to whittle down debt they incurred during the pandemic, as well as to build up an emergency fund in case of another shock. Still, many people say they planned to spend their stimulus funds on the basics. Food and housing costs were cited as the top 2 uses of the third stimulus check following savings, according to a February poll from Bloomberg. Almost 7 in 10 Americans who have received or believe they will soon get a third payment say it's important for their near-term finances. That's down from about 8 in 10 people in March of 2020, when the pandemic caused widespread unemployment, But overall, the share of people who need additional support remains elevated more than a year later, according to the personal finance firm Bankrate.com. About 1 in 3 people say the stimulus aid would help support them for less than 1 month, the survey found. Millions of Americans were spared hardship due to the third rounds of stimulus payments. But when stimulus has faltered, such as last fall when Congress was deadlocked on another round of aid, hardship increased markedly in November and December, according to a May analysis of census data from the University of Michigan. Some top economists have called for more direct aid to Americans. More than 150 economists, including former Obama administration economist Jason Furman, signed a letter last year that argued for recurring direct stimulus payments lasting until the economy recovers. Although the economy is improving, including a surge in hiring in March, millions of people continue to suffer from the reduced income and have not been able to tap government aid programs, said Greg Nassif, political director of Humanity Forward, a nonprofit pushing for recurring stimulus payments. Only 4 in 10 jobless workers actually received unemployment aid, according to a March study from economist Aliza. They never applied for unemployment benefits because they didn't think they were eligible, while others may have given up due to long waits and other issues. You will see reports about how the economy is starting to grow, but there are a lot of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, and for a lot of them, the government relief programs haven't been able to help, Nassif said. Don't hold your breath, according to Wall Street analysts. I think it's unlikely at this time, said Raymond James. One reason is that the Biden administration is focused on advancing its nearly $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which would reshape the economy by rebuilding aging schools, roads, airports, as well as investing in projects ranging from affordable housing to broadband. The proposal, which the White House says would be funded by boosting the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, may be tougher to pass than the relief bill that provided the $1,400 checks to most Americans because of the opposition from both Republicans and some Democrats, noted Stifel chief Washington policy strategist Brian Gardner. Even so, only about 1/3 of Americans believe the American Rescue Plan will help them a lot, according to a poll from Political Harvard. That suggests some households feel they need more aid to help get through the next several months. That help could come this summer, when many households will get a form of additional stimulus aid, when families with children under 18 will get direct payments for 6 months through the revised child tax credit. From July through December, families with children under 6 will get $300 per month, and those with kids between 6 to 17 will receive $250 per month per child. Many people are going to be surprised when that first check comes in, Nassif said. That obviously is going to add to the surge in popularity for the checks. Families may enjoy more of a tax break in coming years if Mr. Biden's American Family Plan moves forward. Under that plan, the child tax credits expansion would last through 2025, giving families an additional 4 years of bigger tax breaks for children. At the same time, the economy is expected to rebound this year thanks to the rising COVID-19 vaccination rates as the state starts to reopen. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon predicted in his latest annual letter to shareholders that an economic boom would last into 2023. With excess savings, new stimulus savings, huge deficit spending, more quantitative easing by the Federal Reserve, a new potential infrastructure bill, a successful vaccine, and euphoria around the end of the pandemic, the US economy will likely boom. This boom could easily run into 2023 because all the spending could extend well into 2023, Diamond wrote in the April 7 letter. That would diminish the rationale for the government offering more direct aid, especially if the jobs rate recovers and more workers come off the sidelines. By year end, the nation's unemployment rate could fall to 4.3% according to Oxford Economics. Even so, the path to recovery remains long, as there are still 4 million workers who have dropped out of the workforce. They forecast that looking ahead, the labor market is poised for an impressive run as expanding vaccine distribution, more reopenings, and fiscal stimulus drive a hiring surge. The White House said Wednesday that Biden would work with the Congress to automatically adjust the length and amount of unemployment benefits that unemployed workers receive depending on economic conditions. Quote of the day: "The pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow." Thank you guys for watching. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button, click on the bell icon to turn on notification, and go find that treasure.